This is, posters are definitely the way to go, especially if the internet ends up getting shut down. DVDs obviously are a great way to go because people don't have to read; they can just pop in and watch it. But a poster, if you're clever enough about designing your poster, in 10 seconds that it takes to read that poster, you can get your entire message across. And I don't know that it's illegal to put them up at this point. I mean, I know that there's certain city.
No, they've tried to create a chilling effect. They've dropped the charges on the teen or never filed them because it blew up in their face. They've tried to intimidate, and it didn't work. People put up more, so they backed off in Florida. But no, do it legally and lawfully. Take Hays County. In fact, that article's out on the desk. Will somebody grab it for me about the hate crime I've committed? It said it's not illegal that Alex Jones's listeners are putting him up in Hays County, but we need to pass a law to make it illegal. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is, the continuation of the powers in control that want to shut down opposition to their authority, to their control. And just like we point out in Camp FEMA, these forces that are, controlling our government, it's not Obama and it's not George Bush. There's other people behind the scenes here pulling the strings because we see too many similarities in their doctrines and the way they think and the words that they use.
That's right. There's a total congruency, and the National Security Council is the true dictatorship over FEMA, over Northcom, and all presidents are just frontmen.
Exactly. So, I don't know that it really makes any difference who's in power. The problem that we've got here is that anyone who opposes the administration on anything, I mean, literally, we're talking about something as simple as immigration or abortion, things that they've used in the past heavily to divide the Republicans and the Democrats. Now they're coming out and saying any opposition to the administration on these particular topics, and probably a list of a dozen others that we've got listed in the film, then you're going to be considered a potential domestic terrorist. And people, I don't think they understand that once you're labeled as a potential domestic terrorist, there's a whole other set of rules that apply to you. And those are the rules, I think, and those are the ones we discussed, that are going to be used to haul those people off to these FEMA camps and contain them, keep them away from the public. The FEMA camp will be your free speech zone. Go there and say what you need to say, and you can't leave. And anyway, it's a continuation of same old policies from the past.
And William, this is not your opinion. When they say, if your Homeland Security national ID card, now they issue a hemispheric North American ID card, the TV ads are on television, people are still in denial. If you don't pay your bills, if you have bad credit, they're going to turn the card off. This has been announced. I saw Ridge in 2002 before Homeland Security even got funding in a congressional round table, four big tables together in a square. And he was explaining it. You're going to have this ID to have a job. You're going to have this ID. There'll be no underground economy, no garage sales allowed, no more roadside sales. Everything's going to be controlled. We're going to have TSA in the streets, at the malls, on the buses, in the trains, checkpoints. The feds are going to take over the local cities through the threat fusion centers, through FEMA. And he was saying how great this was and then now they say no fly list, 1,200,000 and growing on it. Now you'll be a no gun buy list. And they openly are announcing that we'll just say you can't own a gun. No judge, no jury, you're not arrested. And their own Homeland Security documents leaked to us that we put out from good people inside, a federal marshal gave it to us, I'll just leave it at that, says gun owners and veterans are the #1 threat to America. It's all for the American people. It was never about Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda's CIA. Go ahead.
Yeah, you probably can add a few other things to that list, too. Gun control, Federal Reserve, if you're against the United Nations or North American Union, if you even mention the word New World Order, if you have a problem with your income tax or being radio frequency identified with an RFID chip and tracked, that's a problem for them. If you are against abortion or illegal immigration, those are their main topics. It seems
if you're protesting the Fed, and now they're saying if you say no to the naked body scanner, don't put your wife and kids in it to scan your naked body, they're going to put you on a no-fly list as a terrorist. I mean, this government is completely rogue and criminal.
Absolutely. And, this all ties into, like you were mentioning before, people who own private property and who believe that their private property away any, federal intervention, or even states coming in and saying that if you don't pay your taxes, we're going to take that property away from you. Those types of issues. I know that this is really big right now in Kansas City. In fact, we covered the 10th Amendment as part of the conclusion in this documentary as a solution. And what we're talking about, of course, is states' rights. The citizenry going back and electing sheriffs in their communities that they know uphold and stand for the Constitution, and then again getting involved yourself, running for these local offices where politics actually begins. Because if you can affect, if you can influence your local politics, that's where it all begins, and that trickles up to your state, which is where it's supposed to stop. But unfortunately, the feds have found a way to sneak in there and try to withhold, federal aid or funding for whatever reason if you don't sign on to their new legislation or whatever they have in store for you.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. We've got to say no to the federal government that itself is run by offshore private banks openly. And we've just got to say you're illegitimate, you're criminal, it's over. Your Northcom isn't going to march against us. I mean, have you seen in the AP where they're announcing 400,000 troops to now occupy the U.S.? I mean, this is real, folks. This is real. And no amount of thumb-sucking or denial is going to stop it. Only getting up, getting angry, getting focused, getting Camp FEMA, getting the Obama deception, getting the New World Order. The new film we're also selling at Infowars.com. A lot of stuff getting announced, a lot of stuff happening right now. Get it all out to everybody. William Lewis is our guest. We're going to play a little 5-minute sneak peek of the film on the other side, then go to more of your calls.